Hey everyone, just checking back in again. Figured I'd make a quick video again. It's a good thing that I'm not going anywhere tonight because there's a travel advisory in effect now. So, I mean, if you look outside too, it's don't know how well you can see it, but the roads they're not that good right now. It's pretty slippery out there. And we got a decent amount of snow on the ground, so it's a good thing I'm just going to stay home and rest. And that's even more of a reason to stay in, unfortunately. Didn't want to have to do that, but between my stomach issues and the weather being the way it is, I'm just not going to risk it. So at least give me, tonight to rest up, and then hopefully by tomorrow I'll feel better. So I got to go in for counseling tomorrow, and to speak to my counselor actually, just to clear things up and set up my next appointments, since I canceled all the ones for this week because of my financial situation, which is cleared up now since I went to the food pantry. That and Friday I should get my disability payment, thankfully. But anyhow, I don't think there's really much else to talk about at the moment. But if there is, I'll be back. But for now, that's it. So I'll see you in the next one. I mean, you guys can see, the camera's not doing it justice, but it's pretty snowy out there. You see the roads. Not looking too good. Hey everybody, one thing I forgot to mention before too is I'm going to start working more on my diet. And one of the things I'm going to start doing with my diet is I'm not going to eat after 6 o'clock at night. And I'm going to try and limit my intake of carbs, which is going to be tough. Because most food that is cheap that I can afford is usually some carbohydrate based food. But if I stop eating after 6 o'clock at night, I think that should help with things, because there's going to be I'm going to have to try and get around the whole eating carbs thing somehow, because that's what most of my food is. It's pasta and ramen and mac and cheese, stuff like that. Or just regular pasta with some red sauce or white sauce on it. That and just bread, lots of sandwiches. But like I said, I'm going to try and start eating and quit eating, I should say, from 6 p.m. until I wake up. And I'm going to try going to bed earlier and getting up earlier. I want to try and get up around, this is going to be really tough, but I'm going to start trying to get up around 6 o'clock in the morning and starting my day that early. And that's going to be really tough, especially since I stopped drinking coffee or anything with caffeine in it for a while. I don't even know how long it's been since I've had something with caffeine in it. That and just coffee alone, I haven't had coffee in well over a month at this point. I'd have to go back and look and see how many days it's been, but no caffeine, new diet, excuse me, and new schedule, and that starts tonight. And it's probably a good thing I'm starting that tonight too, because I shouldn't eat anything until my stomach feels better anyways. But yeah, that's going to be my diet. I got to get rid of this fat that I've got somehow. I'm going to start exercising more too. I think next week I'm going to start going back to the gym and actually use my membership, instead of just sitting here at home being wasteful. And yeah, so that's it. New diet, exercise, and going back to the gym starting next week. Just gonna try and get into the swing of things, like gradually, just so it's not all at once. Even though I was able to do that and stop the vaping and the smoking and the caffeine, I was able to stop pretty abruptly. But this is gonna be difficult because it's tough for me to get up in the mornings sometimes, like it is, I know, for a lot of people. And I just got to try and get myself back in the swing of things. So that's what I'm focusing on now, my diet and my new schedule. And I think that's all for now. So I'll see you in the next one. Hey everybody, just like always checking in again, as I always say. Just had a few things run through my mind. I think I'm going to start trying to work on my my other two channels that I got on YouTube. My one called Totally Useless and the other one called Social Parasite. The Totally Useless one is going to be more geared towards jokes and funny stuff, and the Social Parasite one is going to be more geared towards issues in society, which is part of what mine and my friend Aaron's podcast is going to kind of be like. We're going to talk about topics that have to deal with society, but I also wanted to do one, I guess, with myself, and maybe have like other people come on the show, aside from the one I'm doing with Aaron. We'll see how that goes, because it may be a bit redundant, but it's something that I've been thinking about working on for a while, and I haven't done anything with it for a while, so I'm starting to write some ideas down and trying to get some ideas going through my head. But yeah, it's tough coming up with ideas for content. Some stuff I think, in my head may sound funny, but then after I think about it for a while, it's like, it's not so funny. So it is tough. It's tougher, I think, than me just talking like organically, like the way I usually do my vlogs. But the other ones wouldn't be like necessarily vlogs. They'd just be, videos for the fun of it. So I'm trying to really start to crack down on working on that, and doing something with those two channels, or at least one of those channels. The Totally Useless one especially. I couldn't come up with any better of a name than that too. I'm not too happy with it, but I mean, I basically got the name because that's how I feel. I feel totally useless, and I know it's kind of a cheesy reason to come up with a name like that, but that's the way it was when I was trying to figure something out for a channel name. That's what came to me, so I went with it. And the Social Parasite channel, that's actually the name of a Nelson Chain song. And for people who don't know me, I'm a massive Alice in Chains fan, and I thought that would be a great name for a show, to talk about society and the problems in society these days, and how we can maybe remedy some of these problems that people are causing or having in society. There's just so much that I could talk about as far as society goes, and I honestly think that the internet ruins society in a lot of ways, but I mean, it's also done a lot of good, don't get me wrong. It's just that sometimes it's just, I guess, you see more bad than good depending on where you're looking. But I just know that the internet's been used for things that are how can I say it, not very, it's just been not used very well, and people doing stupid things. I mean, sure, some of it's funny and everything, but some of the stuff, it just really shows how low people's IQs are, and that's the kind of stuff that annoys me, because it's just not funny or anything like that, or they're not giving some message they don't have some message to get across or anything like that. Like how I am, the message I'm trying to get across is that it's okay to have a mental health diagnosis, and that people should be more understanding of having people who have mental health diagnosis, and not look at them as like, oh my god, you're a psychopath because you're bipolar or whatever, which is difficult because there's such a stigma on mental illness. And like I said, one of the reasons why I started doing this is to show you that it's tough to live with a mental illness, and people, just because you can't see the illness doesn't mean it's not there, which I think is the biggest issue. Because it's not like I'm missing an arm, or I have a broken leg, or I have like a fake leg. or like a prosthetic leg or whatever. And it's because all my problems are mental, and unfortunately there's no cure for mental illness. There's people out there who have serious illnesses, but thankfully there's cures for them. And with mental illness, it just hasn't gotten to the point where you can cure it. I mean, there's been so many ways that people have tried, and just, I'm not a fan of the whole medication approach, especially because you've heard me talk about the side effects of my medications. And it's just not, it's not fun. It's sometimes the side effects can be more of a pain than the actual issue that you're trying to treat is. But yeah, I just felt like I had to come back on and ramble about that. But I'm hoping by me just starting to change my diet slowly, and change it as quickly as I can, given my budget situation, and starting to get back into the gym, and even finishing up and following through with jiu-jitsu. I think that's going to help. I know that jiu-jitsu really does help me. It makes me feel better about myself after I go, which is why I'm pretty upset about not being able to go tonight, because I'm not feeling well. That on top of it, the weather's not the greatest for driving conditions right now. So it's probably better off I stay inside. They did say there's a travel advisory. So instead of risking it, not feeling well, and risking a drive out there to the school for class, I think it's better I stay home and rest. I don't want to chance it. My stomach could act up at any moment. Still convinced it's something that I ate though, because I just got the food from the food pantry, and shortly thereafter my stomach started giving me problems. So I kind of figure process of elimination, that's probably what happened. But yeah, and I gotta stop eating the junk food. Like, no eating after 6 o'clock from now on, which is gonna be really tough. And that and the junk food's gotta go. That, and I gotta really monitor my carbohydrate intake. I'm gonna try and have most of my carbs in the beginning of the day, so my body has the rest of the day to burn off the carbs. That, and I really got to start using those resistance bands I bought so I can train at home. That, and I had the flexibility of like a 70-year-old man, so I really need to start stretching more. I've had problems with my knees since I was a teenager because of I never stretched. Anytime I work out, I just never stretched. I shouldn't say never stretched. I very seldom would stretch out. But that's one thing I gotta get back into the habit of, is stretching. My legs especially, because they're very, very tight, the hamstring area, and it's caused problems with me when I work out, when I do leg curls. So that's I think that's it for now. I think I've said quite a bit for tonight. Excuse me. I feel like I should say more. I could say a lot more, but I don't want the video to be drawn out and boring. But yeah, I think that should do it for tonight. I doubt I'll be making another video after this one tonight. Like I said, I'm going to try and go to bed earlier, and try and rest up for tomorrow and Friday, because Friday is jiu-jitsu again. So I got the rest of today and tomorrow to feel better. Then Friday should be a good day. And that's it for now, I think. I don't really think I have much else to talk about. I talked about my diet. That was one of the biggest issues I wanted to cover, was my diet, and me in this new, basically fasting from 6 p.m. until the next morning, just to try and get rid of some of the fat, which when I go to the gym, I'm going to force myself to do some cardio, whether it be on the treadmill or on an exercise bike or whatever. I just got to get myself back to the gym. I just got to do it. I'll have to wait till next week though, to do that, so I can wait until I get paid, because I'm behind on my gym membership. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, that's about it for now. And for the sake of me rambling anymore, I'm going to cut the video off, and that's it for tonight. And hopefully I'll see you guys back in the next one. Thanks for watching.